Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Um, Shalom. Can I be heard on the conference call? Shalom.
Front door.
Okay. So I'm gonna start off with Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shama Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shama Mashiach Yahushua. So all that we said and do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior, my big brother Mashiach Yahushua. Going to the Most High, where we give thanks to the Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. He's worthy to be praised for everything. All glory and honor to his holy name. As I say, we're going to still continue it. We learn the ways of the heathen unto this day. And that's a lot of our problem. And not only that, but we took it to another level. Once we learn whatever we learn, we stuck there. We stuck in a rut. And we can't seem like we can't come out of it, in the way that, if you go to us being in captivity, slavery, and bondage, and you look at the Willie Lynch letter, and you see that, we kind of like programmed to be just how they would have us programmed until this day, with all these religions they're dealing with, you know, a certain doctrine, that they believe in. Nothing's ever the same, at least we as Hebrew Israelites across the board, we dealing with this Bible is saying we might have a few differences here and there, but as far as how to make it to salvation, we always talk about repent and keep the commandments of the Most High. You know, I add fear of the Most High and crying to the Most High to that, because that's the only time that He have pity on us. So these are the things that we have to look at and trying to, you know, make it to the kingdom that's already prepared for us. It's just a matter of us getting our knuckleheads together. You know, and it's not a hard thing. It's just a matter of doing what's right. Trying to find out what's right and be there for somebody else besides yourself. And that's what it's all about. Reach one to teach one and be there with them together. Those that really want to know more or just, desire more. So we're going to look at Matthew, the 23rd chapter tonight. And we're going to read verse 1. Then spake Mashiach to the multitude and to his disciples. So he's speaking to a multitude of people and to the disciples. He's saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe. So what they tell you, he said, observe. Observe what they tell you to do. that observe and do, because they're dealing with the law of Moses. That's what he's saying. If they send to Moses, they bring him for the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, and the sacrificial laws. 5 sets of law. That's why he said, all therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works. For they say and do not. You see? So now, when you look at the modern day churches, they're not dealing with trying to follow what a Mashiach and Messiah even said here. If they're saying that we're not under the law, but we're under grace, and eliminating what it is that he's telling us how we have to operate. You know, it's like, and that's why a lot of people get very, very disappointed and run away from learning the truth and go backwards because they're caught up in man. But he's telling you, these scribes and Pharisees sitting in Moses' seat, meaning they are dealing with talking about the laws. That's what Moses is about. The first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. It's all about learning the laws of the Most High. For you to say that you're not under the law, and you say Christian means, as you quote unquote say, Christ-like. So how is that? He's telling them, you're going to see many a times that this is what he dealt with. The law of Moses, the first 5 books of the Bible, and the prophets, because that's all he had to go by when he was on the earth. But if you can't get that into your mind, and you still program like New Testament, like it's new, it's not concerning what he had to go by, and Paul and everybody else, Peter, all of them had to go by the law and the prophets. But if you can't see that, then you still program. You still program. You learn the ways of the heathen until this day. That's why they have nothing but a New Testament Bible. Well, how are you going to go into what he's saying here? The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. How are you going to even look at this and not go to what he's talking about? Knowing that, I just told you where Moses' seat is at. That's the laws of the Most High from Genesis to Deuteronomy. He said, all therefore whatsoever they bid you observe. They bid them to observe the laws of the Most High and keep the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High that he wrote with his finger. That observe and do, he said, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, because they wasn't doing the things that they were teaching. But they say and do not. See, they say and do not. And that's a lot of what you see going on in these certain religions. And is what it is. Jump up to verse 22, Matthew 23 and 23. It says, woe, which means destruction, unto you scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. You call them hypocrites, meaning someone that's speaking and talking a good talk, but then they not walking the walk. They say do this, but they not doing it themselves. That's why I say destruction unto you scribes and Pharisees. Woe means destruction. To you scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. But you pay tithes and mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law. The weightier matters of the law. You hear that? The weightier matters of the law. That's the first 5 books of Moses. Judgment, mercy. Judgment is the punishment for doing something wrong. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve to get. And faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. As it says in Hebrews 1:11-1. Faith in the Most High. These are to have done and not to leave the other undone. But no, they couldn't do that. And they wasn't doing it. That's why he's cutting them. He's always dealing with them. The scribes, the Pharisees, and the Sadducees. The Pharisees were more like the political leaders. The Sadducees were more like the so-called religious leaders, but they didn't believe in the resurrection. But they were all challenging him when he was on the earth. Luke 5, the 5th chapter, Luke the 5th chapter, verse 12. Listen, because I'm showing you that there's no way that you can read the New Testament and you're not going to deal with the Old Testament. We learn the ways of the heathen to this day. You can't deny this. We can't deny this. Luke the 5th chapter, we're going to start at verse 12. And it came to pass, when he was in a certain city, behold, a man full of leprosy. For this man is full of leprosy. When he came into this certain city, who seeing Hamashiach Yahushua fell on his face and besought him, saying, Hamashiach Yahushua, if thou will, thou can make me clean. He said, if it's your will, you can make me clean. He had faith in him to realize that, hey, it's your will, you can make me clean. And he put forth his hand and touched him, saying, so what did he have first and foremost? That man had faith. That's what he had. He had faith. Because he said, if you will, you can make me clean. He said his faith out loud. And he put forth his hand, verse 13, and touched him, saying, I will. Be thou clean. And immediately the leprosy departed from him. Now look what he told him. For all you New Testament buffs, or preachers and so forth, we say, and he charged him to tell no man. So he wasn't trying to make himself no reputation. He said, don't tell nobody I did it. Don't tell nobody. He said, don't charge no man. Don't tell nobody I did it. And he charged him to tell no man. Don't tell nobody. But go and show thyself to the priest and offer for thy cleansing, according as Moses commanded, for a testimony unto them. Right? So he had to go to the priest to deal with the law says. Right? So let's look at where they went. Leviticus, the 13th chapter. Go to Leviticus, the 13th chapter. This is dealing with the law or the commandment of leprosy. Leviticus, the 13th chapter. This is what he's telling him to do. That's why I said even though we're not dealing with these type of offerings, sacrificial offerings, or the things that happen pertaining to what it is, we still have to learn this. We still are obligated to learn this. That's why it's very important to learn the law. So now we're going to look at Leviticus, the 13th chapter and verse 1. Because he told him to go to the priest and do the things that the law say he's supposed to do. So Leviticus 13:1, it says, and the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, Moses and Aaron were the priests. When a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh, like the plague of leprosy. It's talking about leprosy. Remember, he told the man to go to the priest and do the things that we're going to read about pertaining to leprosy. He said, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons, the priest, right? And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh. It's like what they call vegaligo. I think that's what they call it, vegaligo today, right? But it's leprosy in the Bible, like we're reading about here. Like your hand is like this, is this color, and this color turns to this color. That's leprosy. Your hand is this color, and you turn it over just like the palm of your hand or the bottom of your feet. That's leprosy, right? Verse 3, and the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, clear indication, the hair in the flesh will turn white, and the plague in the sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh. It is a plague of leprosy. You see? And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. You've seen people, where their skin is dark and you can see that it's turning like this on their skin and so forth. You say they're unclean. Don't forget that, because a lot of y'all, I've seen, I went over this, I've seen people, they touch people that had leprosy. I don't know, if the lady at the store, she had leprosy. I never went in line with her. I would want everybody who would go there, hey, that's leprosy. You hear what it said? You're unclean. So now, let's go to chapter 14, Leviticus 14 and 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, this shall be the law of the leper in the day of his cleansing. Remember, Mashiach cleaned the man. He told him to go to the priest and follow what the law says. So we're looking at it. This shall be the law of the leper in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought unto the priest. It's like Mashiach told him, just like the law says. And the priest shall go forth out of the camp, and the priest shall look, and behold, if the plague of leprosy is be healed in the leper. Remember, Mashiach healed him. So this is what we're looking at, as far as the leprosy being healed. Other men that had leprosy, that Mashiach healed. Then shall the priest command to take for him, that is to be cleansed, 2 birds alive and clean, and cedar wood, and scarlet and hyssop. And the priest shall command that one of the birds be killed in the earthen vessel over running water. So you're killing one bird in a earthen vessel over water. As for the living birds, so you have a bird that's living and a bird that you kill over running water in an earthen vessel. He shall take it and the cedar wood and the scarlet and the hyssop, and shall dip them and the living bird in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. So this bird that's alive going to be dipped in the scarlet and the hyssop in the cedar wood, where you have the blood of the bird that was killed in the running water. You're going to dip in there, and he shall sprinkle upon him that is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times. Do this 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean. And so let the living bird loose into the open field. Let the living bird go. And he that is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes and shave off all his hair. You got to shave off all his hair and wash himself in water that he may be clean. And after that, he shall come into the camp and shall tarry abroad out of his tent 7 days. 7 days. He says that's a 1 week. But it shall be on the 7th day that he shall shave all his hair off his head and his beard and his eyebrows, even all his hair he shall shave off, shaving off all hair off the body. And he shall wash his clothes. Also, he shall wash his flesh in water, and he shall be clean. You got to wash. You see how the Most High, he specifically want us to be walking around clean, with clean clothes and a clean body. And on the 8th day, he shall take 2 he lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe lamb of the first year without blemish. I mean, they're perfect. And 3/10 deals of fine flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, and 1 log of oil. So you got, this is like you make a roast, you kind of put that oil on it, and you put that flour on it, and the priest that maketh him clean shall present the man that is to be made clean, and those things before the Most High at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So that's right at the door. And the priest shall take 1 he lamb and offer him for a trespass offering. So taking a he lamb, a male lamb, and offer this male lamb for a trespass offering for sin. And and a log of oil, and wave them for a wave offering before the Most High. He waved it for a wave offering before the Most High, and he shall slay the lamb in the place where he shall kill the sin offering and the burnt offering in the holy place. For as the sin offering is the priest's, so is the trespass offering. It is most holy, right? So it says, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed. So he take some of the blood and he put the blood on the right ear of the man that's to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. So he's gonna put the blood on the great toe, the ear, the thumb, and the great toe. And the priest shall take some of the log of oil and pour it into the palm of his own left hand. So he's taking some of the oil, put it in his and pouring it into his left hand. And the priest, verse 16 of Leviticus 14th chapter, and the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle on the oil with his finger 7 times before the Most High. Boom, 7 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, before the Most High. And verse 17, and of the rest of the oil that is in his hand, shall the priest put upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed. So all the oil that's left, he put it all on his right ear. You got to, I mean, you got to look at this, because a lot of people, man, they like too, in this day and age, they too touchy, man. How could they do this? Ah, no, I ain't putting none of that on me. They too, think they too all that. They'll be walking around looking like this all over again. And the rest of the oil that is in his hand, shall the priest put upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the trespass offering. And the remnant of the oil that is in the priest's hand, he shall pour upon the head of him that is to be cleansed. Now he's putting the rest of the oil on his head, pouring it on his head. But you know, he had poured all this oil on his hand. I think we were probably larger than we are now. But he had all this oil, because you know, you can cup your hand and you can get a lot in your hand if you just, you know, dealing with it. He said, in the remnant of the oil, verse 18, that is in the priest's hand, he shall pour upon the head of him that is to be cleansed. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Most High. He's going to make atonement for the man that needs to be cleansed before the Most High. The priest shall offer the sin offering and make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed from his uncleanness. And afterward, he shall kill the burnt offering. See? After we got to kill the burnt offering. This is what Mashiach told the man to do. The man has to do all of this. But how, if you're a so-called Christian, you're a so-called Christ-like person, how you going to know what he's telling him to do? When he told him, since he had leprosy, he cleansed him to go do what we're reading about that the law says he's supposed to do. As Moses letting us know. Verse 20, and the priest shall offer the burnt offering and the meat offering upon the altar. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, and he shall be clean. So these are the things that happened during the time that Mashiach walked the earth. Because, you know, they still sacrificing. Just the law of sacrifice. And he was the ultimate sacrifice. Therefore, you know, all these things like this stop. Eventually, it say, and if he be poor, if he's a poor man and cannot get so much to bring all the things that was the atonement required, then he shall take one lamb for a trespass offering to be weighed, to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, and a log of oil, and 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons. So we have turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to get if he's poor. And the one shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering. One gonna be a sin offering, one gonna be a burnt offering. And he shall bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing unto the priest, unto the door of the tabernacle or the congregation for before the Most High. And the priest shall take the lamb of the trespass offering and the log of oil, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Most High. And he shall kill the lamb of the trespass offering, which is for sins. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering and put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed. Again, you putting that blood on his right ear, tip of his right ear, and upon the thumb of his right hand. You put it on the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. Put it on the great toe of his right foot. That's your big toe. And the priest shall pour of the oil into the palm of his own left hand. He poured that oil again into his own left hand. And the priest shall sprinkle with his finger, with his right finger, since he had the oil in his left hand, he sprinkled with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before the Most High. The same thing that we already read. It says, and the priest shall put on the oil that is in his hand upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed. So he put it on the tip of his right ear for the man that's being cleansed. And these are the things that the man that Amasha Messiah healed had to do. From Luke, the 5th chapter, we just read this. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand, he shall put upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, to make an atonement for him before the Most High. And he shall offer the one of the turtle doves or of the young pigeons, such as he can get, even such as he is able to get. The one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. So it's a sin offering and a burnt offering. One for the sin offering, one for the burnt offering. Verse 31. Even such as he is able to get, the one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. With the meat offering, which is the lamb, and the priest shall make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed before the Most High. Now, how can they, if we not under the law, they tell you not under the law, they can't read this, can they? When the Mashiach said to the man that he cleansed, follow the law that we read about right here. This is the law of him in whom is the plague of leprosy, whose hand is not able to get that which pertained to his cleansing. Meaning he was poor. That was the second part of the game. Okay. Let's go back to Luke 10. That's why he said he come to destroy the law of the prophets. That's all he had to go by when he walked the earth. Luke the 10th chapter. That's why I say, man, these churches not teaching the truth at all. Luke 10 and verse 25. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, coming like the devil, to tempt him, saying, Teacher. I don't like to use that word master because that goes back to Baal. You know, that God. And it's right here. In any Bible dictionary, you can look it up and you see that's what it's about. So I'm gonna put it this way. I don't know. A lot of times whenever they do the short, they take and they move it so you can't really see it. So I'm gonna put it over here, I'm gonna put it over there. So I don't know which position you can see it, but you can freeze it and look to see the definition. Say BAAL, that's LORD, and MASTER and HUSBAND. So now, verse 25 of Luke, the 10th chapter again, it says, and behold, a certain lawyer stood up. Now, a lawyer would definitely know the law, the moral law, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial law, and tempted him. He tempted him, saying, I'll just use teacher. What shall I do to inherit eternal life? Now, this is Mashiach Yahushua going to give the answer. He asked him, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said to him, what is written in the law? What is written in the law? How readest thou? This is what he said. What's written in the law? How readest thou? And he answering said, thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy strength and with all thy mind and thy neighbor as thyself. Right? And he said unto him, thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. Now, I must state that him saying this is letting you know that all the laws, 613 laws, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws, at the time that Amachar was speaking, all five sets of laws still existed. That's why he told the man that was healed by the leprosy, healed from leprosy, Salakia, to go and follow what the law of Moses told him to do, told us to do. And that's what he done, as I just read to you. So now, when you understand that the law is based upon how we love the Most High with all our soul and strength and mind, and how we love ourselves as our neighbor, it's based upon that. You got what's for the Most High, ceremonial laws, sacrificial laws, that's for the Most High. You have diet, this is for us, dietary laws, civil laws, how we govern each other, dietary, what we're supposed to eat, what's clean and what's unclean, civil law, how we govern ourselves, moral laws, having moral characters, that's the sets of the laws that we have. Moral, civil, dietary, ceremonial, and sacrificial laws. Now we keep the four sets of laws. We don't follow the sacrificial laws, but we still need to learn it. I mean, how you going to learn what a Mashiach Shai was rolling with and how what he's teaching if you don't go back there just like I just did to the law of leprosy and what Moses, through the power of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua told him to do. Let's go to and they were always tempting them. Acts the 15th chapter. Acts 15 and look at verse 24. Acts 15 and 24. Say, for as much as we have heard that certain which went out from us have troubled you with words, subverting your souls, saying, ye must be circumcised and keep the law, to whom we have no such commandment. Now, when you understand, at this time, Hamashiach Shai had died and rose and walked the earth for 40 days and ascended to the right hand side of the Most High. And when he died, the Holy of Holies, the veil rent. And when they were sacrificing animals, like we just read about, that rent. So they weren't sacrificing. It was like, man, come on, you got to have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua at this time, like we do. You see? Because you look at verse 21, it's saying, because it gave them, the whole thing was, when you understand Acts of 15 chapter, because a lot of people that go to these churches, they have this chapter highlighted for a letter to the Gentiles. You see, not knowing that this is for those that's just coming in, those coming in, and is making a way for them to be able to get themselves together. Like you can't put all this on them at one time. You know, they ain't ready for that. That's why you look at Acts 15:1. Certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren and said, except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, ye cannot be saved. You know, to see them hurt, circumcise the scrotum, and want to see them, you know, go through that and say, when they first come in, you know what I mean? Say, when therefore Paul and Barnabas had no small disputation and disputation with them, they determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain other of them should go up to Jerusalem unto the apostles and elders about this question, right? And being brought on their way by the church, they passed through Phoenix and Samaria, that's northern Israel, declaring the conversion of the Gentiles. And that's not talking about these other nations. It's talking about the northern tribes and those that's in a Gentile state of mind. Like we were, no matter who you look, who you are, every last one of us we were we're part of the conversion of the Gentiles. But we're Gentiles in our own way. You know, it's like our people, our family members and so forth. You know, we may say that we're Gentiles this day. You know, conversion of the Gentiles, those that didn't know and were taught and started to realize that we are the Israelites. And it caused great joy unto all the brethren. So when you see it, if you go through this series, you're gonna see certain things that will contradict anyone that's saying that this is talking about, because you gotta bring in, it's the Gentiles, you gotta bring in who? Eskimos, the Cambodians, the Vietnamese. They ain't even think about that. All when they say Jew and Gentile, Jew and to the Greek, all they think about is the Jew and the so-called white people. That's it. You got to include everybody else in. These Gentiles are the Israelites. It's like just like our people are Gentiles. You know how people call themselves Gentiles. You say you an Israelite. No, I'm a Gentile. They've been programmed. Like I said, in these religions, that's why I call it Christian insanity, because it's insane when you know that, you know, if they take the time to listen and learn who we are, then it's easier. Verse 4, and when they were come to Jerusalem, they were received of the church, Paul and Barnabas, and of the apostles and elders, and they declared all things that the Most High had done with them among the Gentiles. That's where we're scattered. Look at this. Verse 17. Wait a minute, let me go up. Verse 12, it says, then all the multitude kept silent and gave audience. Because, you know, Paul, as Saul was against him, I said, that was shy. So they looked, what's this dude going to bring forth? Is he really who he say he is? Or he's just saying that we going to be rolling about Shama Mashak Yahushua and the name of the Lord and Savior, he can get us and take us to the chief priest and put us in prison or kill us like he did Stephen in Acts the 7th chapter. Say, then the multitude kept silence and gave audience to Barnabas and Paul, declaring what miracles and wonders the Most High had wrought among the Gentiles by them, right? And after they had held their peace, James answered, saying, men and brethren, hearken unto me. Simeon, that's Peter. You know, he's going to go all the way back to Acts the 10th chapter. Simeon, that's Peter, have declared how the Most High at the first did visit the Gentiles, the northern tribes. Remember, Most High said, leave them alone. They deal with idolatry. When you're going through the real breakdown of the northern tribes being taken out of northern Israel, out of Samaria and all the different lands that we were living in, and taken into the captivity of the Assyrians for years and years and years and years, many years. So, I mean, it was among them. So they learned the ways of the Gentiles. Simeon had declared how the Most High at the first did visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name. Now you tell me this. The Most High took a people out of these Gentile nations that we know. Ain't nobody new on the earth now. Other Hamites, the Ishmaelites, the Elamites. Talk to me. The Edomites, the Ishmaelites, Ammon and Moab. He took a name out of those people to make himself a name. That right there kills it. Visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name. That's the Israelites. Because we're Yah Sha'ala. Mosai, Yah is short, and it's in our name, Yah Sha'ala. And to this agree the words of the prophets, as it is written. The prophets, who the prophets? Israelites. After this, I will return and will build again the tabernacle of David, who was of the tribe of Judah, our forefather Jacob's fourthborn son, which is fallen down. You remember? Because the kingdom was split after King Solomon passed, and was passed down to his son Rehoboam, and Jeroboam was over the northern tribe. When King David was in power, all 12 tribes were rolling with a Mashiach Yahushua to the glory of the Most High with King David and King Solomon also. That's why you got to know history. It says, and will build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down. And I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up. Because it say that the residue of men might seek after the Most High, and all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called. What Gentile is that? What Gentiles? Got to be Gentiles, not no Gentile. One Gentile. It's got to be Gentiles, upon whom my name is called. What Gentile is that? That the Most High say, you're my people. I choose you over the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Now you got to start naming, you got 12 tribes. So now you're naming these other Gentile nations, where they at? Upon whom my name is called, said the Most High, who doeth all these things. This is sentence, verse 19. Wherefore my sentence is that we trouble not them which from among the Gentiles are turned to the Most High. You see that? That's the other nation. That's the other Gentiles. We are among the Gentiles because he told us going to scatter us among the Gentiles for breaking his laws. But that we write unto them that they abstain from pollutions of idols, these 4 things, and from fornication, and from things strangled and from blood. Things strangled and from blood. This is why I said, to allow them, to deal with these 4 things. Well, you said, verse 21, for Moses of old time hath in every city. Moses dealing with the law, the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. For Moses of old time hath in every city them that preach him, being read when? In the synagogues every Sabbath day. Let them know they're going to learn the laws that they go to the synagogue on the Sabbath day. They're going to go over the laws. It's what he's telling them. See, that's why it's kind of hard for you if you don't really understand our customs or what actually happened in history while they're talking in the New Testament about us as the Israelites. It's our story. Acts 21. Acts 21. And 18. And the day following, Paul went in with us unto James, and all the elders were present. And when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what things the Most High had wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry. You see? Because we were scattered among these nations. But he's saying how the miracles that the Most High wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry. And when they heard it, they glorified the Most High and said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews, how many thousands of Jews, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe, and they are all zealous of the law. You see that? Verse 19 again. And when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what things the Most High had wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry. So he's telling them about how the Most High had brought forth what he's going to tell them among the Gentiles. Because we scattered among the Gentiles. We're in the lands of the Gentiles. We living among them like we are now. I mean, if you really look at us as a people, you have to make sense. Because we are scattered among the Gentiles and we act like the Gentiles. So I say we learn the ways of the heathen until this day. Listen, 19 and 20 is clear. Hope you see it. And when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what things the Most High had wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry. And when they heard it, they glorified the Most High. He said among the Gentiles, right? They glorified the Most High. All praise the Most High. And said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews, these are Israelites, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe, and they are all zealous of the law. Come on. We scattered among the Gentiles, and thousands of Jews there are which believe, and they are zealous of the law. Because the law was given to the Israelites. Period. I mean, you got to make it mean something different. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Psalm 147, 19 and 20. Psalm 147, 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. So he only showed his word to the Israelites. He says, for, you know, he have not dealt so with any other nation, he's saying. As for his judgment, they have not known them. Malachi 3 and 6. Malachi 3 and 6. Because you got to show me what nation is keeping the laws of the Most High, even today. Moral law, civil law, dietary law, ceremonial law, without anything added. Malachi 3 and 6 says, For I am the Most High, I change not. Therefore, the ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Say, he the Most High, he changed not. He said, therefore, we the sons of Jacob are not consumed. Well, you hear that? He said, I changed not. So who's going to change what the Most High said? If you're going to change, I mean, you're going to be able to tell him what to do, right? Tell him what he did. I know, let's go to, you know, my favorite scripture is fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. 10:31. 1 Corinthians 2 and 16. For all you that got something to say, he said, for who have known the mind of the Most High? That he may instruct him. You're going to tell him what to do. But we have the mind of a Mashiach Yahushua. You know, that's why I say, look, Isaiah 55 and 8. Isaiah 55 and 8. And people going to get in a lot of trouble trying to deal with what the Most High said and trying to change the way he and brought it out. Isaiah 55 and 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said the Most High. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, you look up at the sky, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So I say you can't instruct the Most High. You just gotta go. You gotta go with it. You gotta eat the whole thing. A lot of you pick. You're so programmed that you're not gonna make it because you got your own little stubborn way of how it's got to be the way you think it's gonna be. It ain't gonna be the way you think. It ain't gonna be the way I think. It's gonna be the way the Most High says it's gonna be. You bring salvation to this earth with the way you think. Only the Most High know. Period. That's why we gotta really be tapped into Him much as we can, because we done tapped out from being with Him. I mean, in many ways, shapes, and forms. That's why I'm here to tell you how we got to really look at trying to get closer and closer to Him and do what He wants us to do. We're going to go to Romans, the second chapter. Romans, the second chapter. And we'll start at verse 11. And it reads, but there is no respect of persons with the Most High. Hear that? You got to respect you, me. It says there's no respect of persons with the Most High. Tell you in Exodus 2:25, this is what we have respect for. Show me what He say you have respect for anyone else or anything else. That's how it works. But you just said that. You just got to go by what it says. Exodus 2:25. And the Most High looked upon the children of Israel, and the Most High had respect unto them. So if all these other nations, the Most High had respect to them, then you should find somewhere where He said the Most High had respect to, the names of these other nations. It should be right there. You should be able to find it somewhere in there. If you can, show me. I ain't never seen it, but I'm like I said, I know in part, prophesying part. You might find it, show it to me. I ain't never seen it. Romans 2:11 again. But there is no respect of person with the Most High. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law. You hear that? So because a lot of you think, oh, they got a pass because they didn't know. They ain't know what we know. It says, for as many as have sinned without law, let's get that definition of sin. 1 John 3 and 4. So you know what sin is. Whosoever, no matter who it is, committeth sin, transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. You see? So sin is transgression of the law that the Most High wrote with His finger. So now, going back to Romans, the second chapter, because a lot of you think, oh, since they didn't know, they got to pass. Like a lot of you don't want to know. You're going to close your ears to hearing the truth, so you think that you're going to get away with not being judged. Oh, this cancels out your mindset, your vain opinion. Right there. Romans 2:12. Remember, the Most High has no respect to persons. So now He's telling you in verse 12, for as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law. Hear that? But many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law. And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. So you got everything covered. The ones that's, sinning, and they don't know the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, that have learned of the sacrificial laws, they gonna perish. Ain't no pass. Or they got more pass than we do, and we gotta, work hard to learn it, live it, and apply it in our life. That's why He said. And as many as have sinned in the law, like we the Israelites, following the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, that learned of the sacrificial laws, shall be judged by the law. You're going to be judged by the law. He told you at the beginning, He said, for as many as have sinned without law, you don't want to come and learn, shall also perish without law. You're going to perish without learning the law, learning, living, applying in your life. Point blank. Ain't no getting out of this. It's the real deal. We say, for not the hearers of the law are just before the Most High, but the doers of the law shall be justified. Come on. What part that you don't get? The only law that we're not dealing with is sacrificing animals. But the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, ceremonial laws, we can learn and live and apply it in our life. But when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves. Now, I told you, I read Psalm 147, 19 and 20. If you want to deal with that, he said he showed his word to Jacob, his statutes and judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any other nation. After his judgment, they have not known him. Praise ye the Most High. So, but when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves, which show the work of the law written in their hearts, in their minds, their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts, the meanwhile, accusing or else excusing one another. Accusing somebody, just like the Pharisees and scribes were, or excusing somebody that you know is off, and excuse them. Oh, that's all right. Oh, we ain't worried about it. You know, showing partiality. Ain't no partiality in this, you know. And a lot of people, they think because, you know, they have rank or they know you this way or whatever, that they have some kind of past. Ain't no past in this, man. It's about what's right and what's wrong. You know, we got to keep on doing this work, man, which show the work of the law written in their minds. Just your hearts is written in their minds. Their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts. The meanwhile accusing or else excusing one another, you know, in the day when the Most High shall judge the secrets of men by a Mashiach Yahushua according to my gospel. You hear that? The Most High gonna judge the secrets of men. There ain't nobody getting away with nothing. He got you covered right here. Ecclesiasticus 23. Ecclesiasticus. Some of you think you're doing things nobody see you. That's just for you. You don't see me, people. Ecclesiastes 23 and 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not. And some of you men, you fear the eyes of women. But this says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Hear that? 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Doing what? Beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. You hear what he said? And Romans 2:16, in the day when the Most High shall judge the secrets of men by Hamashiach Yahushua according to my gospel. It's amazing how we can read these scriptures and these so-called Christian apologetics will still say that the Most High is the Mashiach Yahushua. Mashiach Yahushua is the Most High. You would say in the day when the Most High shall judge the secrets of men by Mashiach Yahushua, according to my gospel. The my is Paul, but I'm just saying, you see the Most High and Mashiach Yahushua, that one scripture. Because, I mean, this is what he's done. That's why I say you have to know what has happened and what's said, what's written, to be able to know why he's saying what he's saying. Remember, he's dealing directly with a Mashiach Yahushua. He's saying what he's saying. You have to direct him because, he was off. As Saul, had to bring him back to reality. Saul, I'm talking about, as Paul. Um, it's real, man. I mean, there's so much that we need to know of our culture. They say we're a cult. Cult comes from culture, you know? And it's very important that we look at this because um we in this together. We got to find a way to, you know, get ourselves right with the Most High. Let's see. Bear with me. See, look, um, in St. John, the 5th chapter, we're going to look at the 19th verse and see if it changes. Then answered the Mashiach and said unto them, St. John 5 and 19. I'm not saying that word because that goes back to Amen. Berily. Berily. Go back to Amen. He said, I say unto you, son can do nothing of himself. Now, he let you know that he's the son of the Most High. He said, a son can do nothing of himself. But what he seeth, the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. So, like Father, what do you see the Father do? That's what he said he's done. He's doing. For the Father loveth the Son and showeth him all things that himself doeth. So the Most High loved Mashiach Yahushua, who is the Son of the Most High, not the Most High. And the Most High is showing him everything that he does. Most High is showing it to Mashiach Yahushua. That's what he's saying. And he will show him greater works than these that ye may marvel. So he said he's going to show him greater works than those that they can marvel. It said, for as the Father raises up the dead and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will. For the Father judges no man. This is what I want you to see. For the Father judges no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son. I'm going to read to you again. For the Father judges no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son. That's like the owner of a company. He might have, CEO or president or whatever you want to, title that you want to give him, right? At the same time, he's the one that's operating, doing everything is coming back to him. All the money is coming to him. Coming to him. The majority of the money, I'll say. you know, look at the owners of, um, we'll look at the Lakers or famous team that have players that they paying $50 million. And they got 15 players. They got all these players. They playing all these millions of dollars, right? What kind of money they have to dump out that much money? Got a lot of money. So that's why it says, and he's saying, I'm not letting you know in John 5:22, for the Father judges no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son. Why? That all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son honoreth not the Father, which have sent him. Let you know that the Most High sent him, Mashiach Yahushua. Same thing with that's whatever action he does, right? He said he's doing it. He's saying the Most High do it. That's what he's doing. Now, what about what he say? Because it tells you in the beginning was the Word was with the Most High, the Word was Mashiach Yahushua. The same was in the beginning with the Most High, and John 1 and 1 and 2. I mean, real simple. I mean, you just gotta really stop trying to be thinking so deep and just calm your mind down and just look at this really as what is here, man. Look, we're gonna look at John 14 and 8. Philip, one of the apostles, said unto him, to Mashiach Yahushua, show us the Father, and it suffices us, right? So I guess some Christian apologetic would say, see, they'll look at this and say, it'll satisfy us. That's what he said. Mashiach said unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me have seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father, right? Now, we just read, he said, what he see the Most High do, that's what he does, right? Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself. The words that he's speaking, he said, I'm not speaking of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me. He doeth the works. You see? Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. See? Telling them, man. He's the word of the Most High. The words that he speaks is the words of the Father. Straight up. That's why when you look at 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. 2 Corinthians 5, I think it's the 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mashiach. That everyone may receive the things done in his body, these mortal bodies. A judgment's going to come for what we've done and living in these bodies. According to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. But we know what's good. Romans 7 and 12. Romans 7 and 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. So the law and the commandment is good. Most High good, first and foremost. And the law and the commandments is good. So now when you look at 2 Corinthians 5 and 10, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach, that everyone may receive the thing done in his body according that he have done, whether it be good or bad. Either you kept the commandments, you kept the laws of the Most High, or you didn't. Right? So therefore, when you look at Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man, fearing the Most High and keeping his commandments. It is the whole duty of man. For the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, we just read, shall bring every work into judgment. That's what we just read. With every secret thing. Remember the eyes of the Most High upon us? Most High's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man, even the secret parts, he said. With every secret thing, it's going to be open up, and it's going to be brought out, whether it be good. Now we know what's good, and we read in 2 Corinthians 5 and 10, or bad, right? So bad is what? Whether it be good or whether it be evil. So bad is evil, right? So now there's going to come a time. Revelations, you go to judgment. When Mashiach was side judgment. Revelations 20 and 12. Revelations 20 and 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, in the Mashiach Yahushua Elohim. And the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books. We got books that are recording everything that's being done in these mortal bodies according to their works. Can't get no clearer than that. According to their works. According to whether or not you kept the laws of the Most High, you was good, or you was bad, you was good, or you were evil. We just went over that. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged, every man according to their works. So you're going to be judged according to what you've done in the mortal bodies. Whether you kept the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High, or you didn't, and being bad and evil. Straight up. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life, that other book that they have beside the books, he said, was cast into the lake of fire. If your name not written in the book of life, our names not written in the book of life, going to be cast into the lake of fire. That's the judgment right there. Judges 5:11. Judges 5 and 11. Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers and the places of drawing waters, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Most High, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel, toward the east for us here in this Western Hemisphere. Then shall the people of the Most High go down to the gates where the elders were judging the people. You see, both in even the righteous acts, right? That's why we got to rehearse the righteous acts. What's righteous? Go to a little bit of, Deuteronomy 6:25. That's why it's very important to know how to define these words with these scriptures. Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he have commanded us. Okay? So we rehearsing keeping the commandments of the Most High, keeping the laws of the Most High. Come on. It's very important. I ask the question, do the Most High love everybody? All you got to do is call the name of Jesus and he love you? You think so? Let's see. Let's go to Isaiah 40 and 17. We're going to deal with the truth. It says, all nations before him are as nothing. Hear that? He said, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are accounted to him less than nothing and vanity. That's what the Most High said. All nations before him are as nothing. How can you love all nations? He said all nations before him are as nothing, and they are accounted to him less than nothing and vanity. Verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. It's like a drop that falls from a bucket, and the dust that's on a scale. That's how you look at nations. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. Goes on the islands is a very little thing. This is what is written. Now, you can say, well, we are including those nations, but verse 1 tells you different. It say, comfort ye, my people, said your power. So who's my people? Let's go and find out who my people is. 2 Samuel 7 and 10. 2 Samuel 7 and 10. Let's find out who my people are. Because clearly, I mean, you get understanding to the precepts, and clearly you have to know these things. My people, right? Here goes the definition of my people, who he's talking about. 2 Samuel 7 and 10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel. See? Israelites. He said, going to appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them. Just the Most High. That I is the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said, moreover, that's the Most High, will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Not going to move anymore. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore, as before time. And that's like what we're going through now. It's not going to happen. That's what he said, as before time. That's why he say, Isaiah 40 and 1. Notice he's not talking about Israel. He said, hey, comfort ye my people, Israel, the Israelites, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Said your power. Yours a person that possesses pronoun showing ownership. He said, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of the Most High's hand double for all her sins. See that? We receive double for all our sins. That's why the nation's going to receive double for all their sins, as it is written. I didn't write it, but I know it says it. Just go there. I don't like to make points and can't back it up. Revelation 18. Let's see. Um, Revelation 18. And you can look at verse 5. Let's see. Okay. Verse 5. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven. Who's it talking about? Let's go to verse 1. Well, listen, 18 and 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried with a mighty, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. That's America. Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Now, verse 5 says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and also have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double. See that double right there? Double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, filled to her double. So all the things that they have done, they're going to get double. Like we got double. We just read. The Most High gave us double. So he's going to give them double. Babylon the Great. Oh, yeah. So that's how this works, yo. So now, going back to Isaiah, if we can, 40 and 1 and 2, say, comfort ye, my people. Israelites, said the Most High, your power. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem and cry unto her, which is the Most High's people of Israel calling us Jerusalem, that her warfare is accomplished. You see, that her iniquity is pardoned. But she have received of the Most High's hand double. You hear that? We receive double for all her sins. That's why he said, look, Lamentations 4. So I say they're not teaching the truth. And these different Christian sanity organizations that say, look, Lamentation 4:22, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. That's why I say, speak comfortably to them. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. We ain't going to captivity no more. What are you going to do? He will visit thine iniquity, your wickedness, your sins. Listen, O daughter of Edom, because Edom would have to be ruling during the last days of this world that we in. He said he's going to visit the iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins, your sins, the things that they have done wrong. Because who is it that had the Bible? Who had the Bible in the possession? To be able to put whatever they want to put in and take out whatever they want to take out. And who's making the money for the Bibles? If I might say. Talk to me. Who is it? Is it the Africans? East Indians? Arabs? Chinese, Japanese? You can have a hold to this Bible. They have opportunity to learn all these years from what we're teaching and no go against it, still trying to go against the fact that we're teaching the truth as Israelites. It's not going to go well. That's why he said, comfort ye my people, that our iniquity is pardoned. He said, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. So you read Deuteronomy 28:68, the Most High shall send you into Egypt again, in captivity, slavery, bondage again, with ships. By the way, where I speak of thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there we go in the ship. You shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Nobody gonna redeem us from the condition that we put ourselves in for breaking those commandments of the Most High. Now, all these things that we went through for breaking the commandments of the Most High, now they don't have to keep no commandments. They ain't gotta keep no laws. I mean, they break every peace treaty. They can do whatever they want to do. You know, men with men, women with women. You know, pedophiles, you name it, everything you could think of and can't think of. Something we it's so wicked that most I say we ain't supposed to be even talking about it. It's so wicked. But yet and still they go into the kingdom. That's why he's saying what he's saying. He said he will, that's why any of you right here, y'all gotta come back to the most high. Come back to what he gave us in the laws, statute, commandments, and say he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. You're gonna discover your sins. That's what's written. That's why I said. Um, Amos 3. It's amazing how I look at what I've heard when I brought out certain scriptures in people's face and they say certain things that I remember, I recall when I go to certain scriptures, I remember. Amos 3 and 1. Hear this word that the Most High has spoken against you, O children of Israel. That's all 12 tribes of Israel. Not no one else. He's not talking to no one else. Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, because all 12 tribes plus Dan is 13 tribes was in the captivity under Egyptians, right? He said, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Get what he said? He said, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. You hear what he said? You only. That means only you, children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. You see? And we've been punished. That's why he said he pardoned us. He said, comfort you, my people. We done been through it. We done paid dues big time. I mean, they tell you, the reason why the judge is going to be so harsh because of the fact of, look at it right now. I mean, it's like you still not showing any mercy to Jacob. Look what it said. Zechariah 1:15. Zechariah 1:15. He said, I am very sore displeased. Most I talking to you. He said, with the heathen that are at ease. He said, very much displeased with you. All of you heathen that are at ease. He said, for I was but a little displeased. He said, it was but a little displeased with us, his chosen people. And they helped forward the affliction. Come on. Y'all just had 4th of July. Come on. 4th of July. They helped forward the affliction. We was in captivity on July 4th, 1776. That's why y'all helped forward the affliction. I don't even like talking about all the things that y'all have done and doing until this day, man. I just seen a brother that went to one of these concerts, 4-day concert. He's old. He was hanging on a tree. He was hanging up on a tree, yo. It's modern day. A lot of these things have happened and happening now. Just look at Zechariah 1:17. So cry yet, saying, thus say the most high power of hosts, most high power of army of angels. My city's true prosperity shall yet be spread abroad, and the Most High shall yet comfort Zion. Hear that? The Most High shall yet comfort Zion, and shall yet choose Jerusalem. That's why, man, he's going to comfort us, man. With Zion. He's going to comfort Zion. We got to go through what we got to go through. But he's going to comfort us. He's saying, we're going to be comforted, John. It's not going to be like this forever. We got to go through, we got to go through. You got to endure it to the end and don't give up. Here goes Zion right here in Isaiah 51 and 16. Defining who Zion is. And I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of mine hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundations of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people. And say unto Zion, thou art my people. So Zion represents the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me read the scriptures. Deuteronomy 1 and 1, just to see who the book of Deuteronomy is talking to. Because a lot of y'all be trying to say, it's talking to everybody that came out of Egypt with us. No, man. Most High specific. He's clear. Deuteronomy 1 and 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. One more time for understanding. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hazeroth and Dizahab. Right? Come on, man. Most High give us specific laws, man. I don't think, a lot of y'all really understand, man. It wasn't like you think. You know what I mean? Look what he said concerning the strangers, these other nations with us. He said, and Leviticus just give you heads up on how it was. Leviticus 25 and 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen. You hear that? Shall be of the heathen. Both thy slave men and slave women, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids, slave men and slave women. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession. There it is. Then you know that Most High, just like I say, you only know Israel. He's dealing with the Israelites. Now that we know that Deuteronomy, 1 and 1 said, these be the words that Moses spake to all Israel. Now let's look at Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. But thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power. The Most High thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. How special? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. You see that? The Most High said he chose us to be a special people unto himself. How special? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. But you would never know that. The way everybody feel about us. But you would know it if you know the future. That's why he said the Most High did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people. That's why I let you know the Most High don't care about no quantity of people. He said he ain't choose us. He ain't put his love upon us. Show me where the Most High say he love anybody else besides the Israelites, if thou can. That word love, y'all like to use that word love, right? For the Most High so loved the world. No, you can't use that. Show me where he said, he's talking to the Israelites. He said, the Most High did not set his love upon you, nor choose you. Who he's talking about? The Israelites. Because you were more in number than any people, but ye were the fewest of all people. You hear that? We were the fewest of all people. The lesser number. We were a minority then. But because the Most High loved you, hear that? The Most High love us as the Israelites because the Most High loved you. And because he wouldn't keep the oath which he had sworn to your fathers, have the Most High brought you out with a mighty hand. That's a Mashiach Yahushua, y'all. It's the top angel of the Most High. And redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Most High, our power, he is the Most High, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant, contract, or agreement of, and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. So if you don't love him, you can't show you love him if you don't do what he say do. And y'all got the nerve to say y'all not under the law, but you praying to the Most High and you say you under got grace, you get him, he gonna give you something you don't deserve to get. Make that make sense, man. You don't have to do what he say do. That's his laws, his commandments. But he got to do whatever you tell him to do. And he gonna give you something that you don't deserve to get, which is grace. That's grace. That's why I say, and repay of them that hate him to their face. You hear that? To destroy them. You can't love them. Either you love them, you don't love them. If you don't love them, then you hate them. That's what I say. And repay of them that hate him. Anytime anybody said that you got to do what he say do, you ain't under this law, you hate him. And repay of them that hate him to their face. That's why I'm trying to get you to come out of that spell that they have you under. And repay of them, because remember, we learn the ways of the heathen until this day. And repay them that hate him, because you the only way he said in 1 John 5:3, for this the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments. His commandments are not grievous. So look, y'all hate him. You don't love him if you love him, you're gonna say I gotta keep the commandments of the Most High. You said if you don't, we just read. If you don't keep the commandments of the Most High, you still gonna perish by not keeping the commandments of the Most High. And those that keep the commandments of the Most High, so-called supposed to be keeping the commandments, gonna perish if they don't. And repay of them that hate him, that don't keep his commandments. That's showing that you hate him. To their face, he said, to destroy them. That ain't no love right there. To destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. Woo. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments, which that's the Most High, command thee this day to do them. Come on, man. Y'all better recognize. Don't fall for the the way they have everybody mesmerized and delusional state of mind. I mean, go to Romans 9. Romans 9 and 13. Romans 9:13. Romans 9:13. As it is written. When you see as it is written, have you not heard? It has been said. All that's in the Old Testament. So it's saying as it is written. So what do they do with this whenever you bring it up to your Bible studies in these different Christian sanity organizations or religions and so forth? What do you do then? They say as it is written. You got to go where it's written in the Old Testament. But you say if you're not under the law and the prophets, then how you going to know where to go? You say as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. That's like past tense to what he said it right here. And then the future. Remember, we read in Lamentations 4:22, when our sins are going to be pardoned, he said he's going to look upon the sins and iniquity of Edom, of Esau, the Edomites, because they're the ones that's going to be ruling in the last days of this world. We can look at that. I mean, this is what it's about. And that's how they put in your face right now. Really, really, it's real spiritual. You know how they put, Jake with an Edomite lady, you know, sister with a Edomite man on their commercials on the TV. I mean, they pushing that. So look at 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the part in the son of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first? That's the world we living in now. And the beginning of it that followeth, the world that comes next. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, going all the way back to Genesis 25, 25, and 26 of him. Because Esau and Jacob came from our forefather Isaac. He said Jacob's hand held first to heal up Esau, and it was fighting in our foremother Rebekah's womb. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see? So Esau would have to be ruling at the end of the world. Now, some of you say that the so-called white man is not Esau, but I want to find out who. I mean, y'all got to come up with someone that's going to take Russia out of the pocket. When they say Babylon the Great is falling, who going to take Babylon the Great, America, out of power? What people that you know, if it's not them? Because that's what they got to do to be Esau, because it say Esau is the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Now, we just read in Lamentation 3, it's going to be 422. You know, he's going to visit the sins of Esau once we say we ain't going to captivity no more. So it said, Romans 9:13, as it is written. It was written in the Old Testament. Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. He said, what shall we say then? He said, what you got to say now? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? Is the Most High unrighteous? You going to call the Most High unrighteous? That's what he's asking you. Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? You going to answer? Most High forbid. See, for he said unto Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy on. I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. Mercy is not getting something to do to get. And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion, right? So then it is not of him that willeth, because he want this, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy, right? Now, when you look at the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, you look up Edom, just from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, you look up Edom, we just dealing with the truth, y'all. We got to eat it all. So whenever you come down on us, you got to complain about that too. Feel the same way. Say, Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as a scene of great future judgments. See notably Isaiah 34, 5 and 6, Isaiah 63, 1 down, and say, she is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. So you see here what it's saying. Verse 15, Romans 9:15. But he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So it is not of him that runneth, will it, because you want it to happen, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy. You see? For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up. Now he's comparing the Edomites' last kingdom, they're the ones that's ruling, the end of the world. As we said, Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even so even for this same purpose, he comparing Pharaoh, that Egypt, with this modern day Egypt that we in, captivity, slavery, and bondage. Even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee. And that's what he's showing. Can't deny that. Ain't nobody got no power like Esau. Who put sanctions and embargoes on nations? Talk to me. You could say, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore, have he mercy on whom he will have mercy. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve to get. We just read with the elite. No, there ain't gonna be no mercy for Esau. It says, therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will, he hardeneth. That's why you see what's happening right now. Look, the Most High gonna give him a name that's gonna last forever and ever and ever and ever. You hear that? It's gonna last forever and ever and ever and ever. He gonna be all in all. That's what this is all about. See, a lot of y'all have it twisted. Y'all think that y'all so important that the Most High needs you. Most High need none of us. Not from what he told John the Baptist. He raised some stones to be his people. He told Moses, I'll kill every last one of us Israelites. And I'll make a nation out of you more stronger and better. Just from one man. What y'all talking about? Everybody on this earth come from sick people. Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their wives. Noah's sons. Come on. I better recognize. He said one gonna bring forth. You better. I don't. Y'all. I know it's scary when you think about it. Really, y'all don't have enough. Y'all don't have enough to be. Y'all too prideful to really look at humbling yourself to realize that, man, we ain't made it nowhere. Ain't nobody guaranteed nothing. You don't know what tomorrow gonna bring in your minds, in your shape of what you dealing with. Many people I done seen just flipped out. Powerful brothers and sisters, them flipped out. They ain't even dealing. They don't even open up the Bible probably no more. They ain't doing nothing. But look, think about this. It's deep. Isaiah 60 and 22. A little one shall become 1,000. One little one gonna become 1,000. And a small one, a strong nation, I the Most High will hasten it in his time. That's real serious to me, man. So how we need a lot of people say one man gonna be for 1,000. Jeremiah 32 and 41. Jeremiah 32, 41. Well, I say they're not teaching the truth, man. They say, yeah, I will rejoice over them and do them good, and I will plant them in this land assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. But thus say the Most High Power, like as I have brought all this great evil upon this people, us, the Israelites, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them. All praise to the Most High Power, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob forever. All praises to the Most High. It's coming. So now, going back to Romans 9:13, like I says, are you really learning what this New Testament is talking about? If you following these different religions and so forth, Romans 9:13, this is a New Testament, as it is written. So where is it written at? As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated, right? So where is it written at? Let's go back to the last prophet of the Old Testament, Malachi. Malachi 1 and 1. Malachi 1 and 1. The burden of the word of the Most High to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Most High. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said the Most High, Jacob and Esau. We just read about Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Most of that said in Malachi 1 and 2, I have loved you. Like he told us in Deuteronomy. Told us in Romans 9:13. He said, I have loved you, said the Most High. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? That's something to say to the Most High. We'll say, I love you. And then we're going to say back to him, wherein have you loved us? You know, that's some crazy thinking. To say that to the Most High, he said, I have loved you, said the Most High. Yet we say, wherein hast thou loved us? You come and say, was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said the Most High, yet I love Jacob. See that? Say, going all the way back to Genesis 25:25. It said, was not Esau Jacob's brother? It said, yet I love Jacob. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains. Let you know what Esau would be. A clear indication of who Esau would be. Said, laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. You see that? He said, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains. So Esau was given mountain seer. Like the modern day Edomites would come from the the Caucasus Mountains. So I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. You see? That's where it's written. I have loved you, Jacob. Jacob have I loved. Said I hated Esau. That's what it's saying. He hated us too. You know, all y'all just tripping right now. That's I don't hate, I'll give me hate Esau. He hated us too. Show you that so you don't feel that same way about this. Like you just felt about that. Hearing that, feel that same way about this. Go to I believe it's Psalms 106. And we're gonna look at not it's perfect for what we're dealing with. We learn the ways of the heathen until this day, right? So it's perfect what we're dealing with topic. Psalms 106, we're gonna start at verse 35. But we're mingled among the heathen. That's us, we the Israelites. We're mingled among the heathen and learn their works as it is today. And they serve their idols. Remember, all the gods of the nations are idols. Psalm 96:5. But the Most High made the heavens, it says. We serve their idols like these religions today, which was a snare unto them, a trap unto them. And they teach you that you don't have to follow the Most High rules and regulations. Y'all know about that, right? But yeah, I taught you ain't got to follow his rules and regulations, which is a lie. And they served their idols, which was a snare unto them. Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters and the devils. Man. And shed innocent blood. What blood? Even the blood of their sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. The Most High told us to get rid of all their idols, burn them up, tear them down. No, we didn't do that. Thus were they defiled with their own works, sacrifice our sons and daughters in the fire, following the same ways that the Canaanites was following. Thus were they defiled, verse 39. Thus were they defiled with their own works and went a whoring with their own inventions. Listen, verse 40. Therefore was the wrath of the Most High kindled against his people, who are the Israelites, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance. There it is right there. He hated his own people because we the Most High inheritance. Deuteronomy 32:9. He hated his own inheritance. Who was inheritance? Let's find out. Deuteronomy 32:9. For the Most High's portion is his people. Jacob is a lot of his inheritance. See? Jacob never changed to Israel, became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, as it is written. 2 Samuel's 7 and 23. 2 Samuel 7th chapter, verse 23. And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, your people, even like Israel, whom the Most High went to redeem for a people to himself. You know that? And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, your people, even like Israel, whom the Most High went to redeem for us people for himself, and to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible for thy land before thy people, which thou redeemed to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their gods. You got to do that same thing for us again. But thou hast confirmed to thyself thy people, Israel. You know? The Most High has conformed to himself, we the people of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, to be a people unto thee forever. You hear that? We're people unto the Most High forever. And thou, Most High, are become their power. There's a personal pronoun showing ownership too. Personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. We have become, he has become, we become his people, and he's become our power. All praises to the Most High. Um, do the Bible teach unity of all nations? Do the Bible teach unity of all nations? Let's find out. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. Start out at verse 1. We in the wilderness as the Israelites. Let's see what he said. Deuteronomy 7:1. When the Most High, thy power, your power, shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, the land of Canaan, and have cast out many nations before thee. Get some love out of this. The Hittites and the Girgasites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. The Most High cast out 7 nations greater and mightier than us to give us the land of Canaan. How you get love out of that? Ain't no love in that. And when this is what the Most High said, and when the Most High, thy power, your power, as the Israelites' power, shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them. He said we're supposed to kill them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant, no contract, no agreements with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Why? He said, ain't no supposed to be no interracial marriage. We're supposed to give our daughters to their sons and our sons to their daughters. He said, for they will turn away thy son from following me. Because the Most High called men. So I said, they're going to turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. You see what happened? Most High say he hated us. We ended up sacrificing our sons and daughters, following the same ways of these heathen nations. But this shall thou ye deal, but thus shall thou deal with them. So he told us to do. You shall destroy their altars, that's whatever they believe in, and break down their images, whatever they got, whatever images they have, break them down and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. So set them on fire, burn them up. Say, for thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power. The Most High thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. How special? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Say, the Most High did not set his love on you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, but you were the fewest of all people, you see. But he loved us. Like he said, Jacob have I loved. He loved us. We were the fewest of all people. Now, Mashiach Shai is coming back. Let me show you something. In Matthew 25 and 31. Matthew 25:31. When the Son of Man, Matthew 25:31, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, that received from the Most High, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. When the Most High sit on my Shekabashai back in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. That's what he's going to do. Before him shall be gathered all nations. Hear this? Now you get he love everybody. He's going to put everybody together out of this. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another. Hear that? He's separating everybody. That's not integration. He shall separate them one from another. So that's why they call America the great melting pot, man. He's going to separate all the nations one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Understand old standards. He's going to set the sheep on his right hand, which are what he said in Matthew 15:24. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So the Israelites are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He gonna set the house of Israel, the family of the Israelites, on his right hand, right? That's what he said. Verse 33 of Matthew the 25th chapter. And when he come to judge and make war, he said, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. So the sheep, you go to Jeremiah to find the sheep some more, right here in the Old Testament. I like to bring it either, the Old Testament and the New Testament. Jeremiah 50:6. My people, we know my people are the Israelites. We need to go back to the 2 Samuel 7:10 again. Say, my people have been lost sheep, right? So verse 17 says, Israel, the Israelites, is a scattered sheep. You see? So we are the sheep, the Israelites. He's going to set the sheep on his right hand, who are the Israelites on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Matthew 25:34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my father. Come ye blessed of my father. So everybody's not blessed of the Most High, our Father and his Father. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world, right? Blessed of my Father. That's why I tell you in Revelation 22 and 5 and 14. Revelation 22:14. Blessed are they that do his commandments. That's how you bless. And that's how you're going to be able to be on the right hand side with the Mashiach side, by doing the Most High's commandments, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. Okay? Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. There it is. That's the sheep. Because the gates are going to be 3 gates on the north, 3 gates on the south, 3 gates on the east, and 3 gates on the west. 3 times 4 equals 12. And each gate going to have one of the 12 tribes of names on those gates, with an angel guarding each gate to make sure if you're not of that tribe, you ain't going to that gate. And they're going to be open that the Gentiles may bring the forces, the wealth of the Gentiles going to come bring it right there to the gate. To the gate, not in the gate, but to the gate. So now, go back to, because he's just bringing things back to where it was. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 32 and verse 8. Now, we read verse 9. Let's read verse 8. Deuteronomy 32:8. This is how it was in the beginning, y'all. Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided to the nations, he didn't integrate the nations, he divided to the nations their inheritance, meaning the place that they're gonna live. You get the back of the Bibles, you can see there are maps back there that show you different places where these nations live. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, the lands that they're gonna live, when he separated the sons of Adam, you see that? He didn't integrate everybody. He separated the sons of Adam. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. He gave Israel their land, then he gave the other nations their land. For the Most High's portion is his people. Jacob is a lot of his inheritance. See? He gonna do that's what the Mashiach say he's doing. When he come back, he's doing the same thing. Point blank. Look at Ezra. Ezra, the 9th chapter. Ezra, the 9th chapter. Ezra, the 9th chapter. We start at verse 1. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying to Ezra, and said, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands. You see that? We weren't integrated. We were separated from our lives. Why the Most High look? Leviticus 26 and 20. Come on. I mean, when you look at, that's why I say we don't know enough of our culture to be able to know how to not follow the way of the heathen. And that's through understanding this Bible. Uh, look at hold up. Find it. Leviticus 20. Select. Leviticus 20 and verse 26. 20 and verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto the me. To be holy, you got to keep the commandments of the Most High. We know that's Romans 7 and 12. The law is holy, the commandment holy, and just and good. And ye shall be holy unto me. For I, the Most High, am holy, and have severed you from other people. You see that? Most High separated us from other people, that ye should be mine. You see? That's what he did. Deuteronomy 10. That's why I say, when you see a bunch of us doing what he's doing when he come back, it's the law. But you would never know that because y'all taught y'all ain't under the law. You don't know about this. Deuteronomy 10, 15. Deuteronomy 10 and 15. Only the Most High have a delight in thy fathers, to love them. And he chose their seed after them, even you above all people as it is this day. That's the Most High, what he said concerning his people. He didn't integrate everybody. Leviticus 20 and 24. Leviticus 20 and 24. So you can see that how it's supposed to be is how you're going to bring it back to where it's supposed to be. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Most High, your power, which have separated you from other people, which have separated you from other people. That's what I'm trying to talk about. We're gonna set the sheep on his right hand and the goats on the left. He gonna separate us from other people. Point blank. Ecclesiasticus 17:17 in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 17:17. That's why I said if you don't know how it was, then you're just looking at reading it and they're not really explaining it to you to precepts. See that this is what it's all how it's always been. Ecclesiastes 17:17. For in the dividing, division of the nations, of the whole earth, you see? For in the divisions of the nations, of the whole earth, not the integration of all the nations together, one great melting pot. In the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the most highest portion. See? There's the most high rulers from the kingdom of men. Understand, overstand it. So this is what we're looking at, man. So going back to Mashiach Yahushua, what he's saying, we come to judge and make war. He's going to set the sheep on his right hand. He's setting the goats on his left, right? Right. Y'all with me? Y'all still with me, right? Okay. I'm just about finished with this segment. Matthew 25 and 32, it says, when he come in his glory with the holy angels with him, he said, hey, he gonna sit on his throne of his glory. It said, and before him shall be gathered all nations. All the nations gonna be gathered when the Mashiach shall come to judge and make war. And he shall separate them one from another. He's not integrated. Just like we just read, the Most High separated us from all other nations. He gonna separate these nations one from another. He gonna set the Ishmaelites over there. He gonna set the Ammonites over there, the Hamites over there, the Moabites over there, the Elamites over there, the Israelites over there, the Edomites over there, and so forth and so on. He's separating all the nations, one from another. As a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats, right? And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, he will set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my father that keep the commandments of the Most High, as we read in Revelation 22 and 14. Come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Let's look at that. A kingdom that's prepared. You made the kingdom that's prepared for us from the foundation of the world. That's deep. Look at Second Ezra 7, the 7th chapter. It said, let's go up a little bit. Let's go 2nd Ezra 7. I want to start at we start at verse 6. It says, there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. That's New Jerusalem. It's built. And all good things gonna be in it. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, you got fire on the right side, and on the left, a deep water that's no land to be seen. And one only path between them both, one path between them both. Even between the fire and the water, you're going straight. Fire on this side, water on that side, deep water on that side. And one only path between them both, verse 8, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. That's the judgment. One man gonna go there at once. If this city now, this New Jerusalem, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive his inheritance? Then that's why we got to go through Jacob's trouble. A lot of us been dipped in the fiery furnace of affliction. Many, many afflictions that has happened before we, have to deal with the kingdom. So that's why he said, you don't go through the danger, you don't go through something. If you don't pass the danger set before it, fire on one side, deep water on the other side, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, it is so. It said, then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. This is our portion. Because for their sakes I made the world. You hear that? For our sake, he made this world. Because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. See, then were the interests of the world made narrow. Once he did what he did, interest of this world was made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. That's what we're dealing with, y'all. That's why we have to learn how to conduct our spirit and not dealing with emotions and lust and the things that will have you be contrary to how the Most High want us to be. Or you got to deal with this. They are but few of evil, full of peril, dangers, and very painful. You're going to have to deal with that. A lot of people they're not ready for it because, they think that this still is a religion. A lot of you coming from religion think that you come into a religion. It's not no religion. Most I say you're going to be dipped in the fiery furnace of affliction. You go through a whole lot of pain. Like you say, pain and suffering and sorrow and all that. Well, you got to get rid of all of that if you make it, you know? You say, what are these days? You say, full of sorrow and travail. You know? They are but few and evil, full of peril, dangers, and very painful. For the interests of the elder world were wide and sure and brought immortal fruit. That that initially, when he made the world, we're supposed to live forever. Immortal fruit. Then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things. They can never receive those that are laid up for them. You got to go through it. You know, most I said, whatever he give you in Ecclesiastes 2 and 4, take it cheerfully. That's spiritual though. You ain't spiritual, you can't deal with it. You in your emotions, you ain't ready. He gonna catch you in your emotion when this judgment comes. You're gonna be in your emotions, you're gonna be like, well, you ain't worthy. You ain't follow what I said do. You can't let it go. Hold on to it. Hold on to it till you be thrown in the lake of fire. See what happens. Tell you like that. But that's what it's gonna be for a lot of people because they don't know how to control their spirit. You can't follow what it said. I'm taking whatever cheerfully. You got to come back from it. You got to come. That's spiritual. You got to come back to that. That'll keep you from having a lot of going through a whole lot of things. I might say it works. People might think you know, you this way that way, but when you follow what he say, do have faith in the Most High. See, it works. Mm. That's why it says, if then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. If you ain't gonna go through, you ain't ready to go through nothing, you might as well live it up now. Let this be your consolation right now. Because you in this, you're gonna go through something. They wouldn't allow me to present the judgment of the apostles, how they all were crucified. They wouldn't allow me to put it up. It's the truth, though. And it's like that. That's the way it is. Real for real. For us to believe this. That's why you got my servant say, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. But if you don't want to deal, amen. We're gonna look at let's see, we went to Ezra. Go back to Ezra. I don't know if I finished Ezra. I don't think I finished Ezra. No, I didn't finish it. Let's go back to Ezra 9. Um and 1. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands. That's where we're at. And when Mashiach would say, come back, you're going to separate all the people, right? Doing according to their abominations. See, follow the way of the heathen. Like we read in Psalms 106 and 35. Mingle among the heathen and learn their works according to their abominations. That's what we did. Even the Canaanites and the Hittites, the Perizzites. Remember, these are all these 7 nations that the Most High destroyed to give us the land of Canaan. The Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. He added more. The Ammonites and the Moabites, indigenous Japanese and Chinese. And when you go into First Ezra's in the Apocrypha, adds even another nation there. Let's see what it says here, if we can. Um, First Ezra's 9:68. Let you know the Most High not the way this world is. He's not with the way this world is. First Ezra's 9:69. First Ezra's 9:69. The nation of Israel, we the 12 tribes of Israel, the princes, the priests and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions. Now he said the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, the same Gentiles that y'all want to bring into the kingdom and say pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, because they're going to be in the kingdom, going to have their own spot in the kingdom, but not in the spot of powers and authority. Pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites. We heard all these names. And the Moabites, we heard of them. That was added in Ezra, the 9th chapter. Moabites, Egyptian, all the ones was the first ones was so-called Africans, Hamites. Moabites are the Chinese, Egyptians, and Edomites. So he added the so-called white people into this. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters. And you got to show that the most, it's to let you know clearly here that the Most High knew it with all nations. He said, hey, for both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed. You like to say the people is mixed, right? Mixed with the strange people of the land. These different people that he just named, from there to, and you got to add the Ammonites, like he said in Ezra 9. Like you read Matthew, Mark, and Luke, you get a little bit of what Matthew's saying. Mark is his rendition, then Luke is his rendition. And sometimes John is involved in it. John is spiritual, more so than Matthew, Mark, and Luke. But it say, for both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity, of this wickedness, these sins. It's a sin for us to do this against the Most High. It says, and as soon as I had heard these things, I rent my clothes. He tore his clothes and the holy garment, and pulled off the hair from off my head and beard. Got hurt. Pulled off the hair of your head and your beard, and sat me down sad and very heavy. So all they that were then moved at the word of the Most High power of Israel assembled unto me. Once I mourned for the iniquity, he was crying for the iniquity of Israel, but I sat still, full of heaviness, sadness, until the evening sacrifice. Then rising up from the fast with my clothes and the holy garment rent, he didn't eat anything. He was just fasting and bowing my knees and stretching forth my hands unto the Most High on his knees, stretching his hands up to the Most High. I said, O Most High, I am confounded, I am confused and ashamed before thy face. For our sins are multiplied above our heads. But you see, I include himself. He didn't do this. This is what's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. But you see what he said? For our sins, he wasn't involved in this. All the rest of the Israelites that was involved in it were in sin. But he said, for our sins, including himself, are multiplied above our heads, and our ignorances have reached up unto heaven. But ever since the time of our fathers, we have been and are in great sin, even unto this day. See what he said? We. That's very important. We have been and are in great sin, even unto this day. And for our sins, our sins and our fathers, we with our brethren and our kings and our priests were given up unto the kings of the earth in captivity, slavery, and bondage, to the sword and to captivity, see, and for a prey with shame unto this day. See that? And that's real. That fits us right unto this day. See? Now, 2nd Ezra 9 and 7. So Ezra arose up and said unto them, to the people, they sitting there because it's foul language, foul weather, and they tell you how they sitting there trembling. Say, hey. So Ezra rose up. First Ezra 9 and 7. So Ezra rose up and said unto them, ye have transgressed the law. You see that? You transgressed the law. You broke the law. You have transgressed the law and marrying strange wives, thereby to increase the sins of Israel. Right? And marrying outside of your race. And I got 128 different identities asking brothers, pretty much, what's your race? What is your race? 128 different identities. So we really destroyed, man. So Ezra rose up and said unto them, verse 7, ye have transgressed the law and marrying strange wives, thereby to increase the sins of Israel. And now by confessing your sins, give glory unto the most high power of our fathers, and do his will, and do his will, and separate yourselves, as we done read over and over again. He said, and separate yourselves from the heathen of the land, and from the strange women. Then cried the whole multitude and said with a loud voice, like as thou hast spoken, so will we do. For as much as the people are many, and it is foul weather, so that we cannot stand without. And this is not a work of a day or two, seeing our sin is and these things is spread far. I mean, a whole lot of men and women and committed this sin. So what did they do? First Ezra 9 and 36. All these had taken strange wives, and they put them away with their children. You see that? All these had taken strange wives. I mean, it's a lot of lists above it. I'm not gonna read all that. Take too much time to read all. You can read it yourself. All these had taken strange wives, and they put them away. They put the wives away and their children. Right? Let's go back to Ezra, the 9th chapter. You heard that rendition, right? So here's Ezra, the same Ezra, just spelled different in the Apocrypha because it's from the Greek. But same Ezra, 9. It says, verse 1. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, following their idols and so forth, their religions, as it is today. Even the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites, Edomites, for they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yeah, the hand of the princes and rulers have been chief in this trespass. So, as the ruler is, so is the servant. They're going to do the same thing. Heads doing it, they're going to do it. When I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle and plucked off the hair off my head and of my beard. Sound familiar? You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you, the Apocrypha is not canon. Isn't the same thing he said in the Apocrypha? And sat down astonished, heavy. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembleth at the words of the most high power of Israel, that fear the most high. They the ones that came before Ezra, the ones that fear the Most High. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembled at the words of the Most High power of Israel, those that fear the Most High, because of the transgression of those that have been carried away. And I sat astonished, even, I sat astonished, even, even until the even sacrifice. And after evening sacrifice, I arose up from my heaviness, and having rent my garment and my mantle, I fell upon my knees and spread out my hands unto the Most High Power, and said, "O my power, I am ashamed and blush to lift up my face to thee, my power, for our iniquity." See, our iniquity. You need to write that down, mark it out. That's what's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High, for our iniquity, not just theirs. Point a finger at them, it's ours. Iniquities are increased over our head, and our trespass, see, and our trespass is grown up unto the heavens. Since the days of our fathers have we been in a great trespass to this day. And for our iniquities, you see that? Including his, even though he's righteous. Have we, our kings, have we, including himself, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hand of the kings of the lands, captivity, to the sword, to captivity, everywhere in the apocrypha, and to the spoil, and to confusion of face. Don't know who we are. I was about to say I got 128 different identities of who we are as a race, as it is this day. For real, for real. Now let's look at Nehemiah. Hey, no, that's the Ezra and Nehemiah. They hung out together. They were close. Nehemiah wasn't no joke, boy. Hands on. Um, I want to look at before we go to Nehemiah, I want to go to Tobit. Let's go to Tobit, fourth chapter. Tobit, the fourth chapter, and verse 12. That's what Tobit said. He said, "Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers." See? And take not a strange woman to wife, that's of another nation, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. See? Now, Nehemiah 8. Um, that's just dealing with street teaching. That's where if you want to know about street teaching, that's when we look at street teaching came from there. The one read and one gave the understanding. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna pick this up on the Sabbath. If you join me on the Sabbath night, I'll continue with this. You know how we learn the way of the heathen until this day. And with that, I'll say, Crum Most High, Crum Mashak Yahushai, and Crum Yasharala, and I'm out. So, water for joining me. Shalom.